we are now got to talk about, we have Diana, give me your title, and please say your last name, because I don't want to mess it up.
It's okay. Thank you, though. Thank you. We can do it together. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Markovitz. Yes.
Oh, see, I say Witz, and it's Vitz.
Vitz. It's Vitz.
See, I always mess that up. So
yes, Diana Markovitz, Director of Public Relations and Partnerships at SJC Cultural Events, Inc., the organization that produces and curates the Sing Out Loud Festival, St. Augustine Amphitheater, Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, and Fort Mose Jazz and Blues Series.
And she did not practice that. She nailed it the first time.
Thank you.
So, and Meredith, again, our Deputy Director of Sing Out Loud.
Live Wildly.
Live Wildly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm reading here, and it says both of them, and I read the wrong one. But Diana, you've been in with us before many times. Meredith, I don't think you have. This is your first time. So can you please tell us what the Reader's Digest version of Live Wildly, because you guys do so much.
Yeah.
So tell us how Live Wildly got started and exactly what you guys do.
Sure. So we are a private family foundation, 501c3. Our mission is balancing economy and ecology in the state of Florida. So there are over 1,200 people coming to Florida every single day, and that's great. We just need to be able to find a way to balance growth and development with our natural resources, because we know that our economy is intrinsically connected to the health of our natural resources. And so our mission is to really strike that balance. And so land conservation is a key component to that. And we also are passionate about getting people outside and connecting people to nature, with the idea that you don't want to protect what you can't see, touch, and feel. So if you can get out there, appreciate wild Florida, fall in love with wild Florida, you're going to want to protect it. And so we're really passionate about connecting people to the outdoors.
Yeah, and all our listeners out there know, development is coming. They're gonna be here. One of my big things is you have to do it through preservation to make it where it's so difficult for these developers to be able to get their hands on it. Because if they can get their hands on it, they're going to get their hands on it. So the preservation component of what you guys do is something that attracts me to you immediately, because I feel that is truly the only way to protect what we have here. I'm a born and raised Floridian. My first career was in Parks and Rec, so I mean, I wanted to protect what we have. But as far as preservation, how can people help your organization if they feel the same way I do, and I know a lot of our listeners feel that same way? How can they help?
Sure. So one thing that we actually have done and have implemented that is a very, I think, exciting opportunity is we have at Live Wildly's website a pledge to protect wild Florida. It is a simple poetic statement, just a few sentences long, and it essentially says that you love wild Florida, you love wild places, and you want them to be here for generations to come. Other than saying you love them and committing that kind of passion to it, there's no real commitment. But if you sign our pledge to protect wild Florida, Live Wildly actually donates $1 on your behalf to conservation in the state. So if that's of interest, I encourage people to visit our website at livewildly.com and find our pledge and sign that. Of course, there are several environmental organizations across the state that send out newsletters, ours included. If you're interested in staying up to date on the important information that will inform you about what's going on in terms of threats of development, opportunities for conservation, and opportunities for you to voice your opinion, I encourage you to find an organization that you're passionate about and sign up for their newsletters. Keep yourself informed, and when there's opportunities to express your opinion when it matters most, then that opportunity will be presented to you in those newsletters or if you're following them on social. So I really encourage people to go out and find an organization, Live Wildly included, sign up for their newsletter, follow them on social, and just keep yourself informed, because they're going to let you know when there's an opportunity to make your voice heard.
So Meredith, how did you and Live Wildly come together?
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of that. So I have my educational background is in marine science and biology, and I have a master's in environmental policy. So after several different positions running environmental policy programs at different environmental organizations, I came to Live Wildly in 2023. So a little over 2 years now. I've been with Live Wildly, and so my background again, environmental policy. So I help the organization's efforts to effectuate land conservation and help to secure large-scale funding to help purchase land.
Okay. All right. I'm going to shift over to Diana over here. Diana, I'm glad you made it. I hope your pup's doing okay.
Thank you.
But you've been with the St. Augustine Amphitheater. This is like your second time with the St. Augustine Amphitheater. You left for a little bit, like you were one of my regulars on my radio show.
I took
back in the day.
Sabbatical. Yes, I left for a little bit, but I came back. But in total, about 11 years with SJC Cultural Events, which, as you know, used to be under the county as St. Johns County Cultural Events Division. But we separated from the county October 2023, and we are a 501c3 organization now.
All right, and you guys, well, we're super happy you're back. When you were coming back, we're like, we got Dana back. But the big thing that's happening this weekend not this weekend, this month is Sing Out Loud. But there's other events with Sing Out Loud besides the showcase. Can you talk about some of those other events, because I think a lot of people hear about the showcase and that weekend, but you guys have some exciting stuff, not just on the weekend of the 20th and 21st.
We do. We just kicked it off this past weekend. We have over 130 local and regional acts playing throughout the month of September. So it is the annual month of music every September. We're in our 9th year now. We're, like we said, there's a lot of different aspects to Sing Out Loud. The biggest one is a celebration of live music culture here in St. Johns County, but also in awareness and raising funds for conservation is a big part of it, as well as part of that Live Wildly showcase. So from September 5th through the end of the month, we have all these free shows, over 100 free performances by local and regional acts at over a dozen venues throughout St. Johns County. And that kicked off this past weekend. This coming weekend, we have shows at Colonial Oak, Spinster Abbott's, Nobby's, Dog Rose, and that's your chance to go out and see some free live music. Folks playing around St. Johns County, again, completely for free, all ages. We highly suggest just go hop on a bike or walk around and visit these different venues so that you can see all this live music. And then September 20th and 21st is that big Live Wildly showcase at Francis Field with those headliners, Hosier, Biba Doobie, Vance Joy, Teskey Brothers, and more. And that will help $10 from every ticket sold will go to land conservation here in St. Johns County. Last year, over $160,000 was raised for land conservation right here in St. Johns County. And then that final weekend of Sing Out Loud is the St. Augustine Songwriters Festival, which we love to have. It features over 30 Nashville songwriters who've written songs for people as big as Luke Bryan, Taylor Swift. And it really is a chance to get to hear the background of these songs and the stories behind these songs. Again, all free. Then we have a record fair as well, and a music development series where we'll be having a music business panel at Markland House September 27th, where people can come and hear from music business industry leaders on how to make it in music. Yeah. So it is just this large scale month of music.
Yeah. Well, and thank goodness you guys do. I sit on the TDC, and it's so valuable what you guys are doing in the month of September, because it's usually just an absolute dead month for us. And last year Sing Out Loud saved September for all us hoteliers. So we're really appreciative of what you're doing, because last year there was a storm on Labor Day. Mm-hmm. Usually we have Labor Day and then we have Sing Out Loud. We didn't have anything on Labor Day because there was a storm. So everything was on Sing Out Loud's back, and you guys came through so strong. But it seems like the shift in artists have went to a younger crowd in a lot of ways, and because some of the, I'm saying that as an old Xer, but because last year I didn't even know who Noah Kahn was, and then he was absolutely phenomenal, and that night blew away Saturday night.
Sure.
So can you tell us a little bit about the process of selecting those artists and how that comes to be?
Mm-hmm. Our programming team really looks at a lot of data. We really want to know, because it's hard. You're booking these acts almost a year out, so it's really hard to gauge. I mean, Hosier's gonna going to blow people away. He's been around for a number of years.
He's going to take you to church.
He's going to take you to church.
Yeah.
You know, he likes his coffee sweet, or I forgot the
Whiskey neat.
Whiskey neat. Thank you very much. So we know that, you know, you've got these pillars of live music that are really going to bring crowds. And then you say, well, how do we, you know, we're going to have a full weekend of live music. Who else are we going to bring on? And the programming team really does a phenomenal job of just looking at trends, who's trending on YouTube, who's trending on Spotify, and a couple other data points to say, okay, well, these people are growing, and we think we're going to make the bet that by the time September rolls around, they're going to be huge stars. And Somber is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, he's kind of, since it's been announced, it's went crazy.
Absolutely skyrocketed. And yes, it's leaning towards a little bit of a younger demographic, but you also have Rilo Kiley and Father John Misty, who really appeal to those of us that are over 20. Let's just say that, over 20.
I'm slightly over 20.
So I think we'll see multi-generational attendees this year, which is really fun because last year, even, you know, between Eric Church and Noah Kahn, you had Elle King, who's an up and comer, and a couple others, and you saw multi-generations. You saw, you know, 8-year-olds there with their parents. You saw teenagers there that arrived with their parents and then ditched their parents. But you really, that's what the beauty of the Sing Out Loud Festival is that it really is all ages. And we want everyone to come out and see and feel and experience what live music should do for your mental health, but for community as well.
I was gonna say for the community and entirely.
Well, and honestly, and to spread the message of conservation. So once you're on site at the festival grounds, it's pretty immersive experience. Live Wildly, and Meredith can speak to it, is going to do a phenomenal activation where people are really going to be able to immerse themselves in the idea of conservation in wild Florida. We'll also have nonprofit organizations on site that people can talk to, like North Florida Land Trust and Matanzas Riverkeeper, where if you want to get involved and learn a little bit more about how you can have direct impact here in St. Johns County for conservation, you can go talk to these organizations.
Meredith, Bud, Deputy Director, Live Wildly. Now, I think it has, the founder in the origin is an amazing story. And I think people need to know that story to go, okay, I can get behind this guy right here in this organization. Can you tell the story of like the founding, how it came to be founded, who founded it, and what makes that story so special?
Yeah, so I mentioned I started with Live Wildly in 2022, and that's actually when Live Wildly really took off. And so our founder and benefactor is a very philanthropic man out of the Tampa Bay area. He made his wealth doing tech in the tech industry. And he understands that his success was tied to the fact that Florida is an amazing place to live. He loves Florida. He loves what makes Florida, Florida. And he sees the development coming in, and he thought, and he promised, I believe it was 80,000? No, 40,000? A high number of high-paying, high-tech jobs to the Tampa Bay area. And, you know, moving towards making Tampa Bay, you know, Cyber Bay, making it a tech hub. And with that, he understood that that's going to cause a lot of people to come move here. It's going to cause a lot of housing. It's going to cause a lot of more roads. And he thought, you know, I've got to do my part to balance my impact that I'm going to be having. And so with that, Live Wildly was formed. He also was a really strong believer and a force behind the passage of the Florida Wildlife Corridor Act, which, if you're not familiar, that act was passed in 2021. It was bipartisan support, unanimous, I should say, bipartisan support, which designated 18 million acres of land across the state of Florida as the Florida Wildlife Corridor. 10 million of those acres are already protected. Those are state parks or national parks, areas like that, or area farms and ranches that already have easements on them. But an additional 8 million acres are what we call opportunity areas. And that means that they are privately held and they are at risk for conversion to development. And so part of Live Wildly's mission, we are actively trying to secure the funding to allow landowners to have that option to protect their land and to help protect that full Florida Wildlife Corridor. So our benefactor is incredibly passionate about his industry and the health of our economy, but equally as important to that is the health of our natural resources, and that's how Live Wildly started.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, a Florida success story It's giving back, and that's what we need so much of in our society. And I'm so happy. St. John's cultural events.
It's okay. SJC Cultural Events Inc.
SJC Culture. Yeah, it's too much.
It makes you feel better. I always mess it up.
Yeah, and I'm glad you two found each other, because I love preservation, and that is one of my true passions. And obviously, my heart and soul is with you guys. So how did Diana, how did that come together? How did that marriage happen?
Well, we were introduced by the Florida State Parks Foundation CEO and president and CEO, Julia Gill Woodward. It was a shared love of the outdoors. Julia invited us to a Path of the Panther screening where we met the Live Wildly team at Wekiva Springs. Actually, it was at Wekiva Springs, and we just hit it off, and we just said, what can Sing Out Loud do? What can SJC Cultural Events do to help further the message of Live Wildly's mission? And through those conversations, we came to find that, you host a couple, 10,000, 20,000 people in one place at one time. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty potent opportunity to spread a message.
That puts eyes immediately on you.
Absolutely. So that's where it was founded again, about 2 or 3 years ago. We started the conversations. This is the second year of the Live Wildly Showcase at Francis Field, where we really have committed to messaging about conservation and committed the funds to conservation from ticket sales. So that's really where that relationship started. And I think it only has grown out of mutual admiration and a shared interest in furthering the not just the talking point of conservation, but the direct impact that you can have with conservation, be it going outside and going kayaking and just being out in wild Florida, or donating a portion of proceeds to tickets to actually preserving land here in St. Johns County.
All right. So which of the artists this year are you guys looking forward to the most? So can you give the list again?
Yes, of course. So, ready?
Yes.
Hosier, Biba Doobie, Vance Joy, Teskey Brothers, Rilo Kiley, Father John Misty, Marin Morris, Gigi Perez, David Kushner, Sarah Kinsley, Bren, and special guest Somber. Plus, we have 2 local acts opening up each day, or a local act opening up each day. So 2 local acts playing.
Okay. So, of that list,
yes,
who's the one that you're like, I can't wait to see?
I mean, Father John Misty, just the swagger that he brings to the stage. I've seen him before, and it's so much fun to watch him just command that stage and just act as if he's in his own living room singing to nobody. Yeah. It really is. That's what I'm super excited about. I'm excited about Somber. I think he's a young man who's coming out and really exploring his voice. And it's a lot of fun to watch someone evolve that way. So I think those 2 are the ones I want to see.
I didn't know Father John, but I've been listening since the announcement of the thing, and he would have been perfect for our we did a festival called the Southern Exposure Festival.
Oh yeah.
He would have been perfect on that barn stage, and I'm just the way he just kind of carries himself. He's like, yeah. It's you don't like me, I'm okay with it. If you love me, I like it better.
Yeah.
And it's kind of and that's kind of my attitude too.
Yeah.
So so I can kind of relate to him.
Oh, I've seen you at trivia.
Yeah. You sing.
Recently saw you at trivia.
Yeah, you were there at the big show. But he's the one I'm really looking forward to too. So I mean, I thought I was going to be unique in that, but you nailed it too. So what about you as far as the artists that you've seen?
So I'm obviously excited to see Hosier, big name and just someone that I've listened to the music for so long for. But I will say I had been listening to David Kushner on repeat before the lineup was announced.
Very cool.
And so I am really excited to see David Kushner live.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I think again, the music is obviously primary. People are coming for the music, but I can't wait for Meredith to tell you about what Live Wildly is bringing to the festival grounds. It's just exciting.
Oh,
so
now
great lead in, huh?
I don't even have
commercial
to ask
break.
That question. No, I don't even have to ask that question. So now I got to know what are you guys doing? Because I mean, you were such a big presence last year. Like if you didn't realize, okay, Live Wildly is
Right.
is the group we're dealing with here, and just enjoying. And the decor was amazing. What are you guys bringing this year to beat last year?
So we are hoping to have the similar impact. We want people to walk onto the festival grounds and feel like they're walking into Wild Florida.
Mhm.
If you were at the festival last year, you probably noticed it wasn't too big, just like a 15-foot tall inflatable panther in the middle of the
Mhm.
festival grounds. That was named after last year's festival by the festival goers, Noah Pahan. Right,
Pahan?
yeah,
Okay.
rightfully so. So we are bringing Noah back to the festival, but we also are trying to bring a baby panther as well. Not a real one, a bald
No,
one,
not a real one.
but a little shorter than
I'd
the
be okay
15
with a
feet.
real one.
Yeah, right. But we will have our immersive tent as well. So last year, if you were at the festival, you walked through and you kind of followed the path of the panther through the tent. This year, we're doing a springs immersion, and so. All about the Florida Springs. Florida has amazing springs across the state, and if you have not visited the springs, hopefully after you come to Sing Out Loud and you get kind of a taste of it, you're going to want to get out there and go
Yeah,
explore.
I'm a spring guy. So I grew up in DeLand.
Okay.
So
Yep.
so I was directly between Blue Springs and DeLand Springs.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I learned to swim
Awesome.
actually in the springs.
Cool.
We didn't have pools.
Yeah.
We didn't have pools, but I mean, so I learned to swim. At Blue Springs, and
Those are moments. Those are
Yeah.
big childhood
Italy and
moments.
And the springs
and
are
they're
just,
phenomenal. They're beautiful.
They're so
and
beautiful.
they're just iconic for Florida.
Mhm.
And so we thought this would be really fitting to do a springs immersion. And of course, as you're walking across the festival grounds, there's just going to be soft touches of reminding you about Wild Florida. The other thing that we're doing in partnership with Sing Out Loud this year is we're hosting opportunities for people to go out and explore Wild Florida over the weekend. So if you go to, I believe it's on the Live Wildly website, Sing Out Loud's website, there are 4 opportunities. There's a Wild Waters art exhibit. There is a Fort Mose Historic State Park tour. There's a bird walking and bird watching tour. And then there's also a paddle and cruise with St. Augustine Eco Tours. And so if you're in town for the weekend or you live here and right before the festival, you want to get out and experience Wild Florida for yourself, we are offering these activities. And so we really hope people take advantage of that so they can experience it.
That's great. In Fort Mose, they just finished their replica fort, and I have not been there, and I'm ashamed to say it. I haven't been there, so I need to get out there. So maybe I.
Luckily, we're hosting a trip.
Maybe I can use this. Like, okay, we're gonna get there. So so you're focusing on the springs. Tell me a little bit more about that, because that really caught my interest right there. Do you know how many springs we have in Florida? I mean, there's so many that.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of all of the springs, I do not know that number offhand, but we have some of the most first magnitude springs in the state, and they're just, again, they're part of our iconic landscape. And I don't think a lot of Floridians know. They're not from that area. Like, for example, where you said you grew up, if you're not from an area that is close to the springs, I think like you grew up in Miami. I would say I went to school in Southeast Florida. I don't think I experienced a spring until recently.
Yeah.
And so people who grew up in very urban centers, springs are kind of
Okay,
distant.
I'm going to give you a site you have to go to,
Okay.
and that's the Blue Springs Manatee Watch.
Mm-hmm.
They have a camera on, and in January and February, it's like you can almost walk across them.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
I think they have 400 in one.
I will put it on my phone at work, and I'll be like,
Manatees.
and then I get locked in. In my office, I have a beautiful space at my office where I can see the dolphins feeding, and I'll be looking out, and I'll go, I wonder how long I was watching the dolphins, because I have no
Yeah,
idea.
just zone out.
But
It's so
I mean,
amazing.
the manatees give me that. I mean, that really makes it feel home
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the springs stay at that constant temperature year
Mhm.
round, so they're able to host manatees, especially when the
Yeah, it's-
waters outside of the springs are a little bit too.
Yeah, it
cold.
stays at 72 no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah. So, all right. Blake, well, thank you guys.
Thank
I
you.
really
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. If you would, I want both of you to give websites out, so Blake can put it in the comments. So Live Wildly.
It's pretty easy. It's www.livewildly.com.
All right. That one's an easy one for
Easy
him to
peasy.
type. So And
DianaMarkovitz.com. Just kidding. It's singoutloudfestival.com. That's singoutloudfestival.com.
all right. Do you guys have an app? Also?
We do. Yes, you can find us on iOS and Android. Sing Out Loud Festival app, and it's free to download.
Yeah, because I think I use that, and then the Singer Songwriters has its own app also.
You can find all that information on the Sing Out Loud app. They
so
transferred everything
now.
over.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
So cool. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, 904 Now.
You guys, appreciate you guys. I will definitely see you at the festival.
Yeah.
But if anything comes up before then, you need to get out. You know where to find us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Troy.
Thank you, Blake.
Thanks,
All right.
Blake.